everybody, welcome back to Late Night Movie Talk. And it's been a while. I moved, been getting settled, lacked the motivation to do a lot of videos. And by a lot of videos, I mean any videos. Um, so I figured to get back into the swing of things, as I'm unpacking, I'll just do a Blu-ray collection video. And I'll just go through every movie I own. We'll start with a few of my shows that I have on Blu-ray, and then I'll do like my like box sets, and then all the rest of my movies will be alphabetical, and I'm gonna do them like reverse from like the bottom up. And the only exception is gonna be my Marvel movies because those are the only ones I have like separated because there's just so many of them. I just have them on a shelf by themselves, and so yeah, let's get into it. Game of Thrones, all 8 seasons. One of my favorite series of all time, and if they would have stuck the landing, it probably would be my number one show of all time. One of my favorite shows growing up, or in high school anyway, Supernatural. This is seasons 1 through 6. I really only really love 1 through 5. After 5, it kind of dips. To my actual favorite show of all time, Breaking Bad. Perfect, it's a perfect series that builds each, season. It just gets better and better and better, and I love every minute of it. The first season of Yu Yu Hakusho, man, I love this show growing up. Um, yeah, that's good memories. Got the Legend of Korra, and not as good as the Last Airbender, but still a pretty solid show overall, and there's some really good animation in here. And then there's Avatar: The Last Airbender, also one of the very few shows that I would consider perfect. Um, Continues to build upon itself, great character development, and it knew when to end. 3 seasons out. All right, it's the end of the series. Let's start it off with Harry Potter, Steelbook Collection. Grew up watching those movies. Books came out when I was a kid. They'll always hold a special place in my heart. The Jurassic Park, Jurassic World collection. And as my friend could probably attest to, I'm not a big fan of Jurassic Park. Um, I like the first one. He knows the story. I'm not going to tell it, but I like the first movie, um, and I think it's great. And I think it's a classic, one of the greatest film scores of all time. And outside of that, just don't really care. And I don't really watch, rewatch it, even the first one that often. Hunger Games, the 4 movie collection, and it's the only 4 that I'll ever own. Because after Mockingjay, I'm not really interested as much. Next, we got the Superman Steelbook collection, and big Superman fan. Christopher Reeves is still I think the standard when it comes to portraying Superman. And Superman 2 is probably still the best Superman movie today. Can't have Superman without Batman. Dark Knight collection, and not everybody talks about the Dark Knight, but not enough people talk about Batman Begins, one of the best origin stories in comic books of all time as well. And then there's the other Batman movies. um, Obviously, you got Batman 89. I prefer Batman Returns. Forever's okay. Got its moments. And then Batman and Robin needs no explanation. It's infamous at this point. Hobbit trilogy. Um, Studio interference. That explains that trilogy the best. And then there's the only perfect trilogy to ever exist, Lord of the Rings trilogy, um, the greatest trilogy of all time. And that's it. 10,000 BC. Um, I mostly bought this movie because it's got a really cool steelbook. 1917, amazing cinematography. The one take gimmick that they did in it, um, totally won me over. 310 to Yuma. 300. Um, I know a lot of people, probably don't like this movie, but I think it's great. Um, as far as like a comic book, adaptation of the story, that's Zack Snyder done right. And then there's this piece of shit. 21 Jump Street. Um, Channing Tatum was gold in this movie. 12 Years a Slave. Oscar bait. 12 Angry Men. That's a perfect screenplay. 10 Cloverfield Lane. That's a great sequel. Zombieland. Um, One of the few roles that I like Jesse Eisenberg in. Um, I'm not a big fan of the second one as much. There's Yojimbo and Sanjuro. We got X. Um, like this one a lot. I don't have Maxine because I didn't care for Maxine. Wrath of the Titans. Bad movie, guilty pleasure. Also, I think it might be my very first Steelbook. I can't remember. I think it is. I'd have to ask my friend. The World's End. The end of the one trilogy. It's it's my least favorite of the trilogy, but it's still pretty funny. World War Z. That's a pretty cool zombie movie, even though it's not like zombies. Wonder Woman. Um, it's like mostly pretty good, except for that final act. The villain's not that good. Wolf of Wall Street. The Lamborghini scene gets me every time. I about cried the first time I saw it. It was so good. Wizard of Oz. If you're not, if you're a fan of 4K, this is a must-have 4K. Winter's Bone, one of Jennifer Lawrence's first early roles. Whiplash. This here is a masterpiece. The Whale. Bought this because of all the hype. Doesn't live up to the hype, though I do like Brendan Fraser's performance. We Are the Millers. That's another one. It makes me laugh every single time, and that's all that matters. Same thing with Wayne's World. I mean, what a great decade. The Watchmen, arguably Snyder's best film. Between that or maybe what, Dawn of the Dead? Warriors. Um, I mean, a lot of people think it's a classic. You know, before my time. War for the Planet of the Apes. That whole trilogy was just damn good. War Dogs. Just a couple sleaze bags dealing some arms. War and Peace. Haven't seen this yet, mainly because it's 7 fucking hours, or right around that. I'll get to it eventually. War. And as I go through these movies, you'll find that I have a lot of Jason Statham movies. Not a lot, but a decent amount because um, back in like high school, I like really loved Jason Statham, so I just like bought all of his movies, even if they were bad, which most of them are pretty bad. Wanted, I mean, it's pretty dope. Criterion's Wall-E. If you're a fan of Wall-E, and if you're a fan of 4K, it's the only version you should own. Here's a movie that I don't even know why I own. I don't even like it. Van Helsing. That's a terrible movie, but it's just one of those things that are fun to watch. Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. It has its moments. V for Vendetta. I love V for Vendetta, and it's oddly hits close to home these days. Untouchables. Ugly Truth. Here's another one that I haven't quite seen yet. Again, I've heard great things. Just got to get around to it. Let's pull up this whole pile here. All the Underworlds. Um, Big fan of the first Underworld. Really, all of them. For their own reasons. Even though some of them aren't particularly good, they're. I like visiting that world, and I really like. I really like Selena or Celine. Fuck, I messed that up. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is a super self-aware movie, and Nick Cage, love him or hate him, he's super entertaining. Unbreakable, um, not my favorite in that trilogy. I obviously prefer Split. 2 Days, One Night, nice little indie film, I think, from France. True Lies, 4K, um, great movie, but it's a bad transfer. Thanks, James Cameron. True Romance, there's a classic. Troy. And as far as like your like sword and sandals movies, I feel like Troy doesn't get on a lot of people's lists, but Brad Pitt as Achilles, that fight between him and Hector, I mean that's perfection. I mean it was so good. Tron Legacy. I mean all the Tron movies are either mediocre or just kind of bad, but I still like Tron Legacy. Between Tron Legacy and the new one, obviously the best thing about them are their soundtracks. Daft Punk and then Reznor Ross, dude. Tree of Life. Um, my thing with Terrence Malick is that his films look pretty. They don't necessarily connect always, as far as the story and their characters. But I mean, they always look really nice. Speaking of Statham, there we go. Transporter trilogy. That's nostalgia right there. That takes me right back to high school. Just watching them on my old portable DVD player back in the day. I'll never get rid of them. Transformers 1 through 4, I stopped getting them because they stopped making good movies. Actually, they were never really that good. I like the first one. I like the third one. 2, 4, dog shit. 5, I Heard was okay. Did I even see that one? Um, Lost track. They made like 17 of them. Training Day. It's unopened because I've upgraded this to the 4K. But one of my favorite Denzel performances, naturally. Toy Story 1 through 4. It used to be a damn near perfect trilogy, and then they made 4. Not a terrible movie, it's just not nearly as good. And I really dislike what they do with Woody's character. Just felt unnecessary. The Town, that's a great heist movie. And I mean, Ben Affleck is a really good director and writer. Why the fuck do I own this? I mean, what a terrible remake. Thank God I got the original. This is a fantastic 4K. I mean, if you have a great sound system, throw in Top Gun Maverick. I mean, the sound design, I mean, everything about that movie is top tier. There's another one, Titanic, holds up to this day. The Thin Red Line. There's another Terrence Malick. I actually really like this movie, um, but it's not perfect by any means. Thelma and Louise. Um, as far as like road trip movies, this is definitely one of my favorites, and it also looks stunning on 4K. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's an original, also recently upgraded. I just haven't opened it. Terminator franchise, and obviously the original Terminator is great. T2 is just better in my opinion. Then you got Rise of the Machines, guilty pleasure for me. I recognize it's not that good. Um, and then you have Salvation, and I think this one gets a lot of hate. This, in my opinion, should be the direction that the series should have went. They should have just stuck it out and continued to make 2 more movies and finish out this trilogy. And but they didn't. Instead, we got Genesis and then Dark Fate. Fucking awful. Tenet, big Nolan fan. I just don't like this movie. I probably would like it more if I could hear it, let alone understand it. But maybe I'm just dumb. 10 Commandments. Long as shit, but it's a really cool transfer. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. Um, I like the story, and I actually dug the animation style. Teacher's Lounge. It's a nice little German film. I mean, Taxi Driver. I mean, that's a classic. That a sadistic dude who just wants to cleanse society. Yeah, that's totally not relevant. The Taste of Things. I fucking love this movie. This is one of the most like passionate films, like romance films. There's no music in the movie, but like the sound design is like from the cooking and them eating and just nature in the background noise from like animals and stuff like that. And it's a very calming movie. Taken 1 and 2. I was smart enough not to buy Taken 3. I liked the first one, but it got stupid pretty quick after, with 2. Super Troopers 1 and 2. Obviously, love the first Super Troopers. Super Troopers 2 was super disappointing. It's just nothing but like throwbacks to the first movie, and I hate when a sequel does that because that tells me that you didn't have a good idea to begin with. Superman 2025. Um, I like the movie. I don't love it. I actually really like Corn Sweat as Superman, though. I just not a not the biggest fan overall. James Gunn, James Gunn, Suicide Squad. I like it better than the first Suicide Squad. Um, Jared Leto. I mean, what were they thinking? Straight out of Compton. That's a really cool origin story, or if you want to call it that, about NWA. Actually, this is the newest steelbook to my collection. Just got it, like literally just got it. It was on sale for like 16 bucks, and so I haven't seen it, but I plan to soon. Get them all at once since there's fucking 30 of them. Here we go. Star Wars. That's the entire Skywalker saga, and then Solo and Rogue One. Um, let's see. Phantom Menace, great lightsaber duel. Attack of the Clones is dog shit. Revenge of the Sith is my personal favorite, and also another great lightsaber battle. And A New Hope, classic, obviously started the whole thing. A lot of respect for it. Empire Strikes Back, greatest sequel of all time. Not the greatest sequel of all time, but it's definitely one of them. Return of the Jedi. Um, a really good closeout to the trilogy. Force Awakens, man, I was just talking about this with my friend, and we were talking about how it gave you basically false hope because then Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker came out. You're like, this is where you were going, but it looks beautiful. And then Solo's okay, but Rogue One was obviously fantastic. Star Trek trilogy, well, the new ones anyway, the J.J. Abrams. Actually, I like all three of them. Um, not equally. Into Darkness is my favorite, but I mean they're still pretty fun overall. There we go. Split. That's a great movie. Great performance from McAvoy. McAvoy. I'm not good at talking sometimes. Spectre. Just a mediocre sequel. Not terrible, but just kind of meh. Spawn. I watched this obviously when I was a kid. Loved it, and then went, I don't know, 20 years without watching it. Watched it again as an adult, and I was like, yeesh, those effects were awful. Space Jam, another childhood film, except I still love it to this day. Southpaw, I mean, that's a pretty good fighting movie. I'm also a Gyllenhaal fan, so that helps. Sound of Metal is a masterpiece, and if you haven't seen it, definitely recommend it. Snow White and the Huntsman. I don't know. I think the only reason I have it still is because it's a steel book. I don't really give those. I don't really sell them. Smile. Really, really like the first Smile. Don't like Smile 2 that much. There's another one. Small Soldiers. This is obviously a recent 4K steelbook. Worth it if you grew up watching it. Lots of nostalgia. Skyfall. This is my personal favorite of the James Bond movies, and with Casino Royale probably as a close second. Silver Linings Playbook. I mean, really good performances. I mean, it's got a great cast. Sinners, personal favorite of the year. Love the look of the movie. Love the soundtrack, and Michael B. Jordan's performance. able to portray twins that you can definitely tell that they're related, that they are twins, but they are different enough to be their own person still. Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, Sensei. Um, I still prefer the first one, but they're both pretty cool. Silent Hill. Um, I remember liking it like 15 years ago whenever I first watched it, maybe longer. Silence of the Lambs. Perfect. Silence. Shutter Island. It was a bit predictable for me. Saw that ending coming. Shrek. It's definitely one of the better animated films in my opinion. We got Shooter and then Four Brothers. Two earlier, Mark Wahlberg movies, and I still really like them. The Shining. Um, on a technical level, it's really it's great. I just don't love it as much as other people. Got both Sherlock Holmes from Robert Downey Jr. and I love Downey Jr.'s and Jude Law's like chemistry. They're back and forth. Makes the whole movie for me. I mean, they're great together. Shazam, just the first one. I like the first one, and then I never watched the second one because, well, by the time that came out, I just didn't care anymore. The Shawshank Redemption, perfect film, completely snubbed at the Oscars that year. It's one of my favorite films of all time. Not even a question. Here we go. Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, the other two from his Cornetto trilogy. I'm a Hot Fuzz guy myself, but I still really like Shaun of the Dead. But I could watch I could watch Hot Fuzz. That was a weird tongue twister for no reason. I could watch it any day, any night, and it'll make me laugh every time. Seven Samurai, Kurosawa, Kurosawa. I should probably edit that out, but I won't because mistakes and all. I haven't seen it yet. It's one of the just one of those ones I haven't seen. It's on the list. I just need time. Seven Psychopaths. Just need a particular set of you know sense of humor. It's a triple. I got Seven, Insomnia, and Devil's Advocate. Um, Obviously the best one out of here is Seven. I mean, it's a great. Yeah, it's a great movie. Serpico. Serenity, the movie that they made to finish off the canceled Firefly series. Recommend Serenity, recommend Firefly. Like both of them. One of the greatest films that I never want to rewatch. It just makes me sad. Scarface. It's so quotable, so I'm not going to quote it. The original Saw, and when it came out, it was probably one of the more shocking films of the time, and the series just continued to get worse and worse and worse. Saving Private Ryan, arguably the greatest war movie of all time. It's not that I think it's overrated. It's just that Um, I don't find myself choosing this one to rewatch. The Sandlot. If you grew up in the 90s, you watched The Sandlot. The Sandlot. Love it to this day. Salt, haven't watched it in a very long time. I remember liking it. There's more Jason Statham mediocrity. RoboCop, not the original. This is the remake. Which made me appreciate the original even more. Because that remake was terrible. Rocky, just the first one. Not that I don't like the other ones, I just don't have them. But Rocky 1 is still a classic. Kickstarted his whole career. Got Rock and Rolla. We got Riddick. And then Chronicles of Riddick. Riddick was okay. I like Chronicles of Riddick because it was a nice change of pace from Pitch Black. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, the first in that series of Planet of the Apes movies. Basically just a trilogy because I don't really count Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. But great movie. The Revenant. This is another one of those movies that I think looks pretty, but as far as like characters or story goes, it's not as good. But they used 100% natural light whenever they were filming. That was a really cool movie to look at. Reservoir Dogs. I really like the steelbook and the slipcover. I'm also a Tarantino stan. He's my favorite. No shame. Rainbow 3. Still like it. Rain Man. There's another one of those movies that I just don't love as much as other people. Because I'm not the biggest Tom Cruise fan in his non-action films. Speaking of action, one of the greatest action films of all time, The Raid, and The Raid 2. I just don't have it on Blu-ray. Worth it. If you've never seen The Raid and you're an action film dude or lady, you need to watch The Raid. They're great. Read the subtitles. Suck it up. Raging Bull. He was a raging asshole in this movie. Quiet Place Part 2 and Part 1. Man, the beginning of Quiet Place 1 really messes you up if you have kids. I know that's a spoiler, but I mean, everyone knows about it by now, I would assume. A little double of Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace. Quantum of Solace, man, was just. I know it was the strike, but damn, it sucks. Pulp Fiction. There's really nothing to say about it other than I love it. It's Tarantino. Prometheus. Small rant. Y'all should have given this movie a chance because the direction that they were going with this was 100% going to be better than Alien Covenant. Guaranteed. It was interesting. And like, oh, there wasn't xenomorphs yet. Fucking be patient. I really like Prometheus. Princess Bride. I mean, that's a classic. Priest. A little guilty pleasure. We got Predator. Predator 2. And then The Predator. I really like these two. You know, obviously mainly just Predator, but this is dog shit. I don't even know why I own this. Oh yeah, it's a steelbook. And I bought it whenever I was still like a, what do you call it? A completist. I'm not a completist anymore. but I also won't get rid of it. Power Rangers, I mean, it has moments, I guess, but talk about what do you call it? Product placement. That's a great example of product placement. Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Uh, this is a great slow burn, and the ending of the movie was perfect. Pokemon 1, 2, and 3. I mean, who would have thought that Pokemon movie would be super emotional? Pocahontas 1 and 2, but I mainly have it just for Pocahontas. Platoon. I'm getting into more into war movies. Still not my favorite genre, but you know, there's plenty of good ones out there. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I mean, it's a great duo right there. There we go. Pitch Black. Um, it's probably still the best out of the Riddick movies. It's just it was a really good movie. The five Pirates of the Caribbeans. Um, Probably could have just left off with three, but the first one is perfect. I wouldn't change anything about the first one. It's everything it needed to be. Two, I mostly like. Three has its moments where it's pretty stupid, but I still like it. On Stranger Tides, where you saw the quality dip until it got to Dead Men Tell No Tales, which is just pretty bad. But Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow is still entertaining. No matter what movie he's in, even if it's a shitty one, he's still great. Piano. It's a nice slow film right there. Here we go. The Pianist. I mean, aside from the director being a piece of shit, this is a masterpiece. And it's another one of those movies where you don't really want to rewatch it because it's so sad. And if you're sad, watch Perfect Days. And that's not sarcasm. It's a nice calming, just centering film about a simple man in Japan, just going through his daily life, and it's just nice. Subtle performances I will probably always prefer over like ridiculousness. Pearl, speaking of ridiculousness, um, it is ridiculous, but it's still entertaining in its own way. It's not as good as X in my opinion, but I still like it. But Maxine, again, I'll say Maxine dropped the ball. The Patriot, Passengers, a little controversial as far as the story goes. Past Lives, Celine Song. If you don't follow directors, you should follow Celine Song. She's a really good director. More Jason Statham, Mediocrity. He's so likable, though. This right here is probably the sole movie that's responsible for getting me into international films. Deserved every Oscar it got. I recently saw this in a re-release in theaters that Regal's doing. This is an amazing film. Little father and daughter like road trip adventure, like bonding. It's so good. Panic Room, the new 4K, still holds up, and Jodie Foster's so good. Got Pacific Rim 1 and then Uprising. Again, here's a movie that if you are looking to upgrade to 4K, this is one to get. This is not. just I don't really know. It's just dumb. There you go. That's how you describe that movie. It's just dumb. Out of the Furnace. This is actually probably one of my favorite Christian Bale movies. Um, One, it has a great cast, and two, he's very good in the movie, and it's one of those. It's like another one of those kind of tragic stories. Oppenheimer is my personal favorite movie from 2023. Um, I love everything about this movie. I know some people think it peaks too soon, and I think that's a valid criticism. But I found everything that happened after the atomic test to still be very interesting. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that is a great cast, and they all do a fantastic job. And I like his little. I'm a Tarantino fan, so I like his how he takes like real events in certain movies and then twists them to give them a happier ending, because obviously what happens in real life is tragic. Olympus Has Fallen, just pure action movie. It's fun. Old Boy, talk about a fucked ending. Um, if you watch Old Boy and then like for the first time and you don't go, what the fuck, at the end of that movie, you're probably not normal. Ocean's Trilogy, Ocean's 11, I would say is up there for greatest like remakes of all time. So good. 12 and 13 are meh, but I still enjoy them just because I like heist films, so they're always fun. Not always. Now You See Me. Um, I've seen all three of them now. Two I don't like at all. Three is okay, but I mean one is the only one I really care for, and it's really more just a guilty pleasure. No Time to Die. That's the last of Daniel Craig's Bond movies. I like it for the most part, and I think the ending does Daniel Craig justice. It sends him off on a proper note, I think. Notebook. I mean, I own it. Not ashamed of it either. I like it. No Strings Attached. It was funny. I don't know if I would still laugh today if I rewatched it. Nostalgia. Nonstop. I mean, I don't even know why I bought that. The Northman. It's one of the two Ager movies that I actually like. No Country for Old Men. I just upgraded this to the 4K Criterion. It's a great film. Lion Witch in the Wardrobe. Looking forward to that remake. I want to see what Gerwig does with it. My Bloody Valentine. Watched this in theaters, and I liked the 3D. And then I bought the Blu-ray, and I think I've watched it once. Mummy Trilogy. Love the first two. Don't like the third one, and I don't think they should make a fourth one. But what do I know? Mulholland Drive. It's my favorite Lynch film. It's just great performances overall. He's a great director. Rest in peace, by the way. Mulan, classic Disney. The that live action though was dog shit. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It's one of my more enjoyable action movies for sure. Mortal Kombat 2022, 2021, 20, who cares? First 15 minutes, last 15 minutes are pretty cool, only because of Sub Zero and Scorpion. And then you have the two film collection, 95 and then Annihilation. I love Mortal Kombat 95, and I still have a special place in my heart for Annihilation, even though I know It's awful. But that theme song, you put it on today, anybody that listens to it's just instantly ready to fight. Monty Python, the Holy Grail. I mean, ahead of its time, I think. Moana. I actually really dig the first movie. Oh, I'll eat Mission Impossibles. A I think if I had to pick one action movie franchise, I would pick Mission Impossible. They're all good movies, at least to great, and they're mostly just great. The My personal favorite is Ghost Protocol, but I mean I enjoy every single one of them. The quality's there. Tom Cruise puts in the work. I mean this. I mean you're there for the stunts, and the stunts literally always deliver. So I don't have anything bad to say about Mission Impossible. And stop hating on Mission Impossible 3. It's a good movie. Minari, that's another Korean film, or a Korean family in America, in like I don't know Kansas or something. It's a nice little movie. Midsummer, I like Midsummer, but it gave me a headache. It's so bright, which is so weird for a horror movie. Memories of Murder. This might. hmm, It's really. I don't know. I find this hard to pick between this and Parasite, but the ending to Memories of Murder will get you. It'll get you. The Mechanic. Mean Streets. That's a classic Scorsese right there. All right, here we go. We got Matrix. Then we got Revolutions and Resurrections. I'm missing Reloaded. Um, the first Matrix is a top 5 action films of all time for me, and then Resurrections is top 5 worst movies, sequels. It's terrible. Master and Commander. I'm a bit sad that I didn't watch this until I was, you know, a full adult. It gets overlooked as far as like Russell Crowe goes for performances because of like Gladiator, but this is a great like naval like from like what I don't know the 1800s, 1700s. Anyway, great period film. The Martian. It's the last great Ridley Scott film. Marriage Story. Movie about divorce. I mean that's depressing in a good way, I guess. Man of Steel. I'll be the first to talk about, to talk shit about Zack Snyder and the DCU and how it, miraculously failed. But I'll defend Man of Steel. I really like it, and it's got a great score. Like Hans Zimmer. I mean, it's Hans Zimmer. Man with No Name trilogy. Classic spaghetti westerns. Maltese Falcon. A little quick thing that all of these classic films look really nice on 4K. Malcolm X. I don't think he got the Oscar for this one. He didn't get it into what Training Day? I don't know, I can't remember. But he should have. If he didn't, he should have gotten it for this one. If he, whichever one, he should have like 2 Oscars, like bare minimum. He probably should have 3. The Magnificent. I can't even say it. The M7. I'm not even drunk and I can't talk. Mad Max Fury Road. Um, I'm not a big fan of the original Mad Max movies, but Fury Road is definitely exceptional. Looper. That's an underrated action, well, like a sci-fi action. Um, but yeah, if you haven't seen that, more people should watch it. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. That's it's a really cool little English movie. Little Women. Um, I'm a huge Saoirse Ronan fan, and as much as I think she should have gotten the Oscar for this, or for at least one of her four nominations, I mean, I know she'll get it eventually. In my opinion, I would say probably one of the best uh, like actresses of like my generation. Little Mermaid, classic Disney. Lion King, Lion King remake, Lion King 1.5, one of the greatest Disney movies of all time. I actually really like Lion King 1.5. The DVD back in the day used to have like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire trivia, and me and my brothers used to do that on the DVD all the time growing up. But this is an abomination, and if it wasn't a steelbook, I'd fucking get rid of it. There's the other Eggers film that I like, The Lighthouse. I think this might have been the movie that I started taking Robert Pattinson serious as an actor. And then I watched like Good Time and some of his other performances. I'm like, okay, Twilight just sucks, and it's not him. Life. Um, I like this one because in a lot of like horror movies or sci-fi horror movies, the humans tend to be really stupid and they make these dumb decisions, but they don't. It's just that the alien is that much smarter or harder to kill. Really good ending as well. The pen is blue. Great comedy. One of the greats. Legion. That's a fun little, you know, guilty pleasure. Legend of Tarzan. I mean, it's okay. Lawrence of Arabia. A great transfer for one. It looks really good on 4K. Cool steelbook, all that fun stuff. But it's actually just a really good movie. Classic for a reason. And I think at the time had like the record for the most extras used in a movie. I could be wrong. Lawless. Um, this is probably one of my favorite Shia LaBeouf performances. Outside of that, maybe like Fury and Holes. Law-abiding citizen. Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous with how he's able to get away with doing some of these things in this movie, but it's still really cool. Late Night with the Devil, I think from last year, 2024. Um, really liked it, and I really liked the way it was filmed. A little different. Last Samurai, another Tom Cruise. Last Emperor, great period film. There's another great Saoirse Ronan film, Lady Bird, and Greta Gerwig. They teamed up, at least a couple times. But there's another one that she, got nominated for. Labyrinth. That's a new edition. It's a classic film. You know, good old Bowie. Kong Skull Island. Out of these, this new iteration of Godzilla and Kong movies, this is my favorite. King Kong. This is the 2005, I think it was. The CGI in this movie, I think, looks better than the all the other new Godzilla movies. You know, those Godzilla and Kong. I mean, they're too, yeah. But I mean, Peter Jackson. I think, yeah, Peter Jackson. I mean, that movie still holds up today. Kingdom of Heaven, that new steelbook. Really like that steelbook. But this is the obviously the director's cut. The only way to watch the movie. Kill Bill, 1 and 2. Again, Tarantino. I like every single one of his films. Kajamusha. That's another. I probably mispronounced it, but that's another one I haven't seen yet. I'm starting to get into more Japanese films. I bought them during Criterion's 50% sale, so just working my way through. Justice League. Justice League. Yeah, I get it that this was plagued with, you know, like production issues, in regards to what happened with Snyder, but it still fucking sucks. And then Snyder gets his chance. He gets to remake his, he gets to make his movie the way he wants. We get the Snyder cut, and it's an improvement for sure. But 4 hours, you tell me you can't tell a Justice League, story in less than three. I mean, it took Avengers Endgame like what 11 years to work up to that movie, and that was still only 3 hours. So Snyder still has some work to do. Jungle Book, the live action remake. I'm pretty sure it was the first one that they did, and it's still the best one. Joker, 2019, great year for film. Makes sense that he won. It was a great performance. Great movie overall. John Wick's 1 through 4. John Wick 1 is still my favorite. I think they got a little worse each step of the way. And John Wick 4 is a great as far as like the action goes. It's just too long. John Carter. Me and my friend went to go see this in the theater, and I think he almost immediately hated it. And I left the movie. I was like, I kind of liked it. It was just a fun little escape, from Earth. And I kind of, I don't know, I kind of like the world of Mars. You know? I recognize it's not a great movie. It's a guilty pleasure. I like it. Jaws. There's another iconic, film score. Jason Bourne. James and the Giant Peach. That's a little throwback. Jackie Brown, probably one of my least favorite of Tarantino's, but I mean, it's still Tarantino, so still really like it. It's a Wonderful Life. That's a great Christmas classic. The Italian Job. It's a really good cast. Original It, 2017 It. I don't have chapter 2 because I don't care for it. But obviously, you know, this is iconic. I still prefer this one. The Iron Claw. That was one of my favorite films from 2023 as well. And if you grew up with brothers, I think that will hit a little close. I Robot. It's good fun. Yip Man trilogy. Still love the. I can't read. I still love the first one, but the 2 and 3 have still really cool like fights throughout it. But Ip Man 1 is where it's at. Interstellar, very well made. It looks beautiful. Um, I don't think it's quite the masterpiece that others do. Insurgent, not bad. I think I prefer this one to the first one as well. Maybe pretty close. Inglourious Bastards. This is one of my favorite films of all time. Um, I just the whole cast. I mean, Brad Pitt as an Italian, Barngiorno, so stupid. Indian in the Cupboard. That's another throwback. You know, I think this still might be one of my favorite Will Smith movies. I mean, when he punches that alien right in the face, it was just cool. Inception, you know, I think it's maybe a little overhyped, but it's still pretty cool. Incendies, this is my personal favorite of Denis Villeneuve, and the ending will just punch you right in the face. Immortals, back when everybody thought Henry Cavill was going to be like an amazing movie star, he's not that great of an actor, but he is fucking ripped. Ikuru, it's another one of those Japanese films I haven't gotten to yet. It sounds like the fucking disc is loose, so that's gonna be fun. Identity Thief. Ugh. Jason Bateman is hilarious, and I don't have it, but if you haven't seen what was it? Bad Words is so funny too. I Am Legend. Whenever this came out, everybody was raving about it, and some people don't like the ending. I like the ending. Horrible Bosses. Again, that's another, it's another Bateman. He's dude's so versatile too. Home Alone, 1 and 2, the only two you need, and sorry, I forgot how to breathe. But the electrocution scene from Home Alone 2 is probably my favorite all time like comedy movie, scene ever. Whenever I mean it just gets me every time. Holdovers. Um it came in just behind Oppenheimer for me. And it's in my yearly rotation for Christmas films, for Christmas season. It's immediately thrown in there. I think it's an instant classic. Same thing with this. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Jim Carrey's only. I don't like the other versions, that much. But I mean, he was perfect as the Grinch. Hitman, the unrated version is, much better. It's another one, High and Low. I'll get to them. Heroic Trio. I'll get to them. They look really cool though. Hero. It's different from other Jet Li films, but I still really like it. Heat, and that's peak Mike Mann right there. And probably, one of the best shootout scenes of all time. Hangover 1 and 2, and I caught on to not buy 3. I just wish I would have caught on sooner because I don't think Hangover Part 2 is very good. All right, the original Halloween, and then the newest trilogy, 2018, and then Kills, and then Ends. Favorite slasher film of all time. but I also really like the 2018 version as well. His mask is, I think, is this is his best mask right here. Kills has some fun in it, and it lives up to its name. I don't think it's awful, but Ends is definitely like so bad. I don't know how you're still like making movies after making Halloween Ends. Like you should be fired from life. Like just give up. Axel Ridge, it's okay. Groundhog Day, that's classic right there. Green Mile, that's only watch Green Mile if you want to be sad. Green Lantern. I don't even need to talk about it. Gran Turismo. Um, Again, I mean, not a great movie, but at least there's a decent amount of racing scenes in there, and they're pretty well done. Grand Budapest Hotel. This is my personal favorite from Wes Anderson. But it should be stated that I'm not a huge Wes Anderson fan. I am a Goonies fan though. Grew up watching this movie too. Classic. Good Will Hunting. I mean, it's Robin Williams. Great film. Goodfellas. I mean, Scorsese. I don't think Scorsese makes a bad movie. My personal favorite of Godzilla, minus one. It just blew me away. You got the original Godzilla, which is obviously a classic in its own right. I mean, whenever this came out in like 1954, there was nothing like it. You know, pretty much. I have Godzilla 2014, then King of Monsters, and then Godzilla versus Kong. Um, I don't mind Godzilla 2014. I think it definitely has, you know, valid complaints about not enough Godzilla, which is solved in King of Monsters, which I mostly enjoy. And then Godzilla versus Kong, and then Godzilla and Kong, I just think are stupid. Could have been a perfect trilogy, but didn't stick the landing. Godfather 1 and 2 are pretty much perfect, though. If I had to pick, I think I would pick Godfather 2, Part 2. I think it edges out 1 just a smidge. Glory, nice little Civil War movie. There you go. One of my favorite films of all time, Gladiator. Um, Two of the best performances, from those actors. I mean, between Russell Crowe and Joaquin Phoenix, I don't know who was necessarily better in the movie, but both iconic in their roles. And then we'll just pretend that Gladiator 2 doesn't exist. G.I. Joe, I also pretend that doesn't exist. Get Out, um, was not expecting the movie that we got. Loved it. Gangs in New York could have been even more great if you would have cast somebody else other than Cameron Diaz. One of my favorite films of this year. Um, Formulaic, yes, a bit, but the cast um, elevates everything. But more importantly, the direction, the sound design, the effects, the racing scenes, they're all like, yeah, it's Top Gun, but with F1. Fury, one of my more enjoyable World War II movies. Nice little change up from the other stories that we usually get. Furiosa. I'm probably one of the few people that like this almost as much or about the same as Fury Road. It looks amazing. Great action scenes. Everything that Fury Road does great. This also does great, except it has more character development. Full Metal Jacket, great first half. Not a great second half, but it's not bad by any means. I just I can relate to Full Metal Jacket because they nail Paris Island, and it just reminds me of my time there. Frozen. I actually really like Frozen. Not so much Frozen 2 though. We got Friday the 13th, like what, 2009 or something. Then you have the original. Um, I don't think either one is particularly great. Obviously, this one kicked off like an entire like genre. So, or not genre, but series. I don't know. I said genre, but I just it's okay. French Dispatch, First Blood. It's a great action film. Final Destination. For some reason, this is the only one that I own, but I like. I think what the first one and what is that one? The fourth one. I can live without the rest. Fight Club, one of my favorite films from the 90s. Probably, I think it's my favorite Edward Norton role. Fearless Unleashed. These are the two movies that, if you ask me about Jet Li, the first one I go to would be Unleashed. It's probably my favorite Jet Li movie. Fargo. Yeah. Uh, this, I don't know. So it's really hard to pick between Fargo, Big Lebowski, and No Country, but all three great. We got Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, Fast and Furious 4, Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6, and then Fate of the Furious. I don't have them all, and I'll never have them all because after 5, the franchise lost its mind. Fantastic Beasts, kind of dark. Um, I was actually pretty interested to see where they were going to go after the first one, and they revealed like Grindelwald, and I was really looking forward to seeing that famous duel between Dumbledore and Grindelwald. But they bombed, and so they shelved the last two movies. So maybe one day we'll see it, but I would not hold my breath. Event Horizon, pretty cool. Expendables 1 and 2, like a celebration of like the action, like movie stars and stuff like that, which I liked. It's just that after 2, I never even bothered watching 4. Heard it was awful. The Exorcist. I mean, there's nothing I can say at this point that hasn't been said 100,000 times. Equalizer. I pretty much just like the first one. It gets ridiculous that a 70-year-old man is doing all that. So, got the English Patient. Employee of the Month. I actually really like that movie. I thought it was pretty funny. Elysium. Um, that's a really good sci-fi. Film. Needs more love. El Camino. Obviously, like the quality's not up to like Breaking Bad, but I liked seeing the story go beyond. Right here is, I think, criminally underrated, and that's Edge of Tomorrow, one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies actually. just in general. We got Dune, Dune Part 2. Love both of them. I'm in camp. Dune Part 2 is better than Dune Part 1 for me personally, but I mean, they're both so good. And I haven't read the book, so it's probably helps. Dunkirk, it's a great one watch. Dumbo, Dumb and Dumber, classic comedy right there. Drive, great film. Ryan Gosling, really good in the movie, and also uh, that's a great, that's a really cool looking steelbook. Here's another one, Dread. How this did not get a sequel is, I mean, just sad because Paul Urban was perfect as Dread. Perfect. Dracula Untold. What am I? It's actually I thought it was pretty good. One of the better Dracula movies. Don't Breathe. This is a great suspense because dude's blind and they have to navigate throughout the house because apparently he's got super hearing. Great movie. Johnny Darko, little young Gyllenhaal. Brasco. Good old Pacino. Domino. I don't. Probably got it on sale or something. Django. Hmm. I'm gonna get you to Django. D is Silent Hillbilly. It's just. I don't know how you don't laugh throughout that movie. Like, how could you not have a good time? Divergent. I mean, whatever. The Disaster Artist. Probably James Franco's best performance. And if you've never seen the movie The Room, which is what that movie is, um, referencing, it is truly awful. But you should watch it. The Departed. That's probably my personal favorite Scorsese film, even though I know everybody says the original that it's based off of is better. Um, I'll give it a watch one day. Death Race. More Jason Statham. Dazed and Confused. This is actually my first Criterion that I ever bought, and I bought it by accident. I was at Best Buy, and I thought it was a steelbook. And I was like, well, I like Dazed and Confused. I didn't know they had a steelbook. Let me buy it. Open it up. I'm like, this isn't a fucking steelbook. And that's how I discovered what Criterion was. That was dumb. Days of Heaven. Really good film. It's probably my favorite from Terrence Malick. Day After Tomorrow. One of my favorite like disaster films. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Probably the best out of that trilogy. Well, I mean, obviously for me anyway. I mean, they're all good. Dance with Wolves, classic Costner. Da Vinci Code. You know, I love taking like historic events and just tweaking them. With these little conspiracy theories or stuff that that was happening behind the scenes, sort of like Assassin's Creed does. I don't know, it just makes it fun. Creed 2, Creed 3. Somehow I don't have Creed 1. I'm a big Michael B. Jordan fan, and Ryan Coogler, directed at least the first one. I don't think he directed 2. I mean, I know he didn't direct 3, but I mean, they're really good continuations of the Rocky story. Crank, I love Crank. Like, I don't think it's a guilty pleasure either. I actually just legit like Crank. Crank 2 is just obviously bad, but the first Crank is so fucking funny. absolute rampage the entire time. Constantine, that was another favorite of mine during high school. Keanu Reeves was perfect casting. Complete Unknown. Small rant. This should have won the Oscar last year. This should have been Best Picture. This should have been Best Actor. He should have been Best Director. It's a hill I'll die on. Come and See, which is ironic because I still haven't yet to see it. Collateral, arguably Tom Cruise's best performance. That's another great Michael Mann film. Coco. If you like Disney movies and you haven't seen Coco, you should watch Coco. Click. It's got its moments. I don't like the fact that it gets like sad and then happy and sad and then happy. Just make up your fucking mind. Clerks 1, 2, and I prefer Clerks 2. I know a lot of people would lose their minds hearing that. Clash of the Titans. You know, it's fine. Chronicle. That's a really cool movie. Young Michael B. Jordan. Christine. There's a classic for you. Challengers. Didn't even get nominated for best original score. I don't know how you don't nominate Reznor Ross for best original score last year. Idiots. Centurion. There we go. Casino Royale. Like I said, it's probably between Skyfall and this one. This one's probably still just a little under Skyfall, but I love Casino Royale. Casino. This is a very recent release, 4K Steelbook. I mean, that's just pretty. Look at that sucker. Casablanca. Classic. Carlito's Way. Often overshadowed by other Al Pacino movies, but Carlito's Way. Should watch it. Cars. Again, I'll probably mispronounce it, but Capernaum. Nice little from Lebanon? Syria? I don't know. Somewhere over there. The Campaign. There's some genuine, very funny moments in this movie. Bullet Train. I mean, one, it's Brad Pitt. He's great. This has a really strong cast, and it's just super fun and entertaining the entire ride. Brightburn. If Superman was evil, cool concept. A pretty fun, pretty cool movie. I honestly kind of surprised it never got a sequel. Bridesmaids. Probably my wife's favorite comedy of all time. Not my favorite comedy of all time, but it's still pretty damn funny. Breakfast Club. Not a classic. It's kind of hard not to not like, Breakfast Club. Braveheart. Maybe I'm just not a big Mel Gibson fan. I like Braveheart. I just don't rewatch it. Brave. Another really good Pixar. The Bourne films. Love the trilogy. Legacy is just okay. And it's not Jeremy Renner's fault or anything like that. It's just that I think, myself included, I think most people wanted to see Jason Bourne, not the, Timu version. Bohemian Rhapsody. Pretty inaccurate as far as a movie goes, but one hell of a performance from Rami Malek. Blue is the warmest color. Here we go. Blue Velvet, nice little fever dream film. I mean, that's David Leitch. David Lynch. Nice if I could talk. I mean, is a great director. Was a great director. Rest in peace. Blood Simple. If I'm not mistaken, this was the Coens' first. I think it's their first. And you can definitely see, even from their first movie, you're like, oh yeah, they have. Yeah, they got it. Bling Ring. I don't know. Blade Runner 2049. Beautiful looking film. Blade Runner Final Cut. Again, one of those other 4Ks that you should definitely have. If you want good looking 4Ks, both of those Blade Runners are a good bet. Black Hawk Down. Bill and Ted's Most Excellent Adventure. I'm sorry, Collection. The I think the first one's probably still the best one. It's been a hot minute since I've watched them, but I mean, little stoners. I mean, they're so dumb, but they're so likable. Beauty and the Beast. It's a serviceable live action remake. I don't hate it, but it's fine. The Before trilogy. I think I would say this is a perfect trilogy. If you've never seen these movies, you should try to get to it. Barbie. I actually like Barbie. The I mean, come on, I'm just Ken. Great scene. Banshees of Inisherin. I don't think it got enough. It didn't get enough love. I think Colin Farrell should have gotten that Oscar that year. Bank Job, Statham. We've been over it. Hmm. You know what? I'm not gonna even. I'm not gonna even give that movie my energy. The Batman, however, I actually really like. It's too long, and the scene with the Joker, just take that out and trim some of that other stuff in there. But that car chase sequence was great. Also, really cool music. Bad Grandpa. Back to the Future trilogy, and I watched this. I would say I watched it too late in life for it to not have an impact on me. But I still respect it. Baby Driver. Avatar. I'll defend Avatar. I like the first one. I recognize it's not super original. That's okay. It has really good world building, and obviously the CGI, the 3D was groundbreaking. It was innovating for the time, and so I will 100% rewatch the first Avatar. Way of Water just lost me. It's too damn long, and it's just too much rehashing of the first one. Assassin's Creed, love the games, hate the movie. Atomic Blonde, that's a pretty cool action movie. Charlie Theron just kicks ass. First Aquaman, I like it enough. I've never seen the second one because, like Shazam 2, by the time these movies came around, I just didn't care about the DCU anymore. Arrival. probably one of the better sci-fi movies. Really, like I would say, I would put him up against all time. It's an intelligent film. Angels and Demons, same thing with like the Da Vinci Code. I just like that little twist, on supposed history. Anchorman 1 and 2. Anchorman 1 is obviously far superior, but they're so funny. Anatomy of a Fall, French film on trial for her, husband's murder. And what I really like about this, um, the performances are so well done and nuanced. By the end of the movie, after the decision is made, you're like, did she do it? Did she not do it? Like, you really don't know. And I really like that. American Sniper, it was fine. American Psycho, that's that's probably one of Bale's better performances. But he's had so many many great performances, and he was good in this one too. American Hustle, not a lot of rewatchability. American Graffiti. When it comes to George Lucas, I feel like a lot of people would never even bring this up because they're always focused on Star Wars. All Quiet on the Western Front. This is the remake, obviously not the original, but I think it was well deserving of the awards it received. The Hitchcock collection got Rear Window, Vertigo, Psycho, and The Birds. And Psycho is Psycho. I mean, great. The Birds, I just wasn't a big fan of. We got the Alien films, the rest of them. There we go. Obviously, this is probably one of the best 4Ks that you could own. Looks amazing, sounds amazing. It's a damn near perfect 4K. You should grab it. Aliens, on the other hand, super disappointing as far as 4K, like transfer goes. But one of the greatest sequels of all time. Alien 3, I'm in the minority. I like Alien 3. Alien Resurrection, bad. Alien Covenant, trash. AVP, I like AVP. Obviously the unrated version if you can get that, but AVPR, don't waste your time. Allegiant, apparently this is like a part 1 to the sequel that we'll never get, and I don't care either. Addams Family, this is a nice little throwback to my childhood. I watched this all the time growing up. Same thing with these. These two are two of my favorite comedies ever. Big Ace Ventura fan. Another disappointing, 4K. I mean, another great movie. James Cameron, he made a lot of great movies, but it's just, I don't know, he likes its like waxy look of it. Eh. This is pure stupid fun. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I remember when that first came out, and me and my friend saw that, and I was like, this is so stupid, but fun. All right, now we're here at the end. This is all my Marvel movies all together. I keep them separate because like I said earlier, there's so many. Let's get one of the worst ones out of the way first, I guess. Dark Phoenix. Just wrong way to end that series. Apocalypse. Not bad, but just a bit disappointing. Days of Future Past. My personal favorite X-Men. X-Men movie. It's just so damn good. First Class. really good starting point for that new little series that they were doing. So it was pretty good. You got the Wolverine trilogy. Got X-Men Origins, which is thankfully been retconned pretty much. The Wolverine, I'm actually pretty big fan of. And then obviously Logan was just really fucking good. The clear winner out of that trilogy. The original X-Men trilogy, you got X-Men X2 and then Last Stand. I love X-Men 1 and 2, Last Stand. I don't hate it, but I could see why some people do. But I'd still watch it. Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse. Sony can't make a live action movie to save their life, but at least they can do animation because those are amazing Spider-Man films. I didn't even do that on purpose. What a dork I am. Speaking Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2. I actually really dug the first one. I didn't mind the villain being like, lizard, but his I'm a big fan of Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I thought he did a really good job, and I really love the suit. The suit looks so good. And then they made this abomination. There's one scene in this entire movie. That's it. One good scene. And I'm sure anybody that has seen that movie knows exactly what I'm talking about. Disappointing. But he got his redemption. Andrew Garfield got his redemption. So that's great. Sam Raimi Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man 2 is probably still my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time out of all the ones that are made. But Spider-Man 1 still holds a really special place in my heart. It was just so. That came out, what, 02? And I remember sneaking into that movie after watching Attack of the Clones, and I caught the end of the movie for the first time. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to need to see this movie, like ASAP. So yeah, love that movie. Spider-Man 3, I think, gets a little too much hate. It's not awful. It's just there's just too much going on. We got the Punisher with Thomas Jane. A I don't know. I like it. I think it holds up. 2003 Hulk. This is I like Eric Bana as Hulk. It's got issues. Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean, it was everything that I wanted out of that movie. And yeah, it might be just a bunch of cameos and nostalgia and all that stuff, but it it worked. Deadpool 1 and 2. Not the biggest fan of Deadpool 2. It's got, of course, it's still got really good moments. I just don't really care for the villain in that movie. That little kid was just super annoying. But Deadpool 1, I wouldn't change a single thing about that movie. Not a single thing. Love it. Tom Holland Spider-Man's Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. Homecoming, great villain. It was nice to see. Far From Home was, again, another really good villain. It's just the overall movie wasn't, it just wasn't as good. And then No Way Home was same thing. Nostalgia, nostalgia, nostalgia. Cameos, cameos, cameos. I don't care. Still love it. Shang-Chi. I like it. It's not one of my favorite ones, but it's still pretty good. Thunderbolts. I love Florence Pugh. I think she's great as the new Black Widow. Um, the movie's just overall it's pretty good, just not great. Awful, trash, hate it. If those goats would have yelled one more freaking time in that movie theater, I was ready to end it. God, it was so unbearable. But then there's Ragnarok. So just watch Ragnarok instead. Dark World, I don't know which one's worse. This one's just super fucking boring. And then Kat Dennings was in the movie way too much, and she's just not funny. She's not. The first Thor movie had a nice balance. She was in it, not a lot. Chris Hemsworth was, I think, nails it. Here we go. Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. Obviously, the first Iron Man kickstarted the entire thing. Probably the best origin comic book movie of all time. And Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. I mean, everybody has said that. I agree. 2, I didn't mind 2. Some people seem to hate 2. But, I mean, he's got a weak villain and all that stuff, but it still has its moments. I, on the other hand, hate Iron Man 3. Hate. What a just the reveals and the twists that they put into that movie after giving us that trailer has left a very sour taste in my mouth. The Incredible Hulk. Edward Norton's really good as the Hulk, and I don't know, man. This might still be my favorite Hulk. He was actually like, I know he seems, I don't know. Mark Ruffalo's, the MCU one just feels a little less Hulk, if that makes sense. Guardians of the Galaxy. I really like the first Guardians. Great soundtrack. I mean, great characters. The villain was obviously another weak point, like most MCU movies, but overall, still a great movie. Volume 2, I think, sucks ass. Thank goodness Volume 3 redeemed that one. But, man, I still strongly dislike Volume 2. Fantastic Four First Steps. Um, really like it. I still don't think Pedro Pascal is the right choice for Mr. Fantastic, but he grows on me. He grows on me throughout the movie, and I mean they finally got Galactus right. Eternals. Is that a dent? Son of a bitch. There. Yep, that's a dent. I've never noticed that. Fucking cameras. That's a good thing it's not a very good movie. It's just slow, boring. Would have probably been better as a like a mini series. Multiverse of Madness. It has its moments. I don't hate this movie by any means, but it's just I think some missed opportunities in there. I think the first Doctor Strange is much better. Captain Marvel. I really dug the first Captain Marvel movie. Um, you know, just a really good introduction into her character, and then some other characters that we will see later on down the road. But the sequel, which I clearly don't have, is El Trasho. It's bottom barrel. Captain America 4. I don't hate this movie. I think it's mediocre, for sure. And they put too many storylines in there. But Sam Wilson as Captain America is really good. I still have some issues with like his neck up for his suit, but he's still really good as Captain America, and I think he was the right choice to take over the shield. Civil War, Avengers 2.5. Really like this one. He yeah, that final fight at the end of the movie. Oh yeah, there it is, right there. Great moment. That's a great moment. Winter Soldier's still better though. I mean, it's just so fucking good. I mean, it's really hard to top Winter Soldier. That's not fair to ask. First Avenger is a really good origin story and cool villain, but I don't know. The whole Nazi thing was it was fine, but still really like the movie. It just so happens that he has two like really good sequels. Black Widow, it was fine. Here we go. Black Panther. Um, if it wasn't for like that final fight between Black Panther and Killmonger, I would say this is a damn near perfect movie. And what second best, MCU villain? I mean, the first Black Panther was. I mean, Ryan Coogler knocked it out of the park. Um, Ludwig Göransson, the score. I mean, everything about this movie was great. Wakanda Forever. A lot of people don't like it because of Shuri taking over the mantle. But like, what are you gonna do? I mean, Chadwick died. I mean, it pays really good tribute to Chadwick, honors his short-lived legacy that I mean, a lasting impact that he has on a role, and it's an extremely emotional movie. People were bawling their eyes out in the theater, and in the opening credits, where they made the great decision to go completely silent, you could hear a pin drop in that theater. That's how quiet it was. And yeah, she should have won that best supporting actress that year. It was a great those two scenes that she had in particular were fantastic. Really like Ant-Man 1 a lot. Paul Rudd, I mean, who would have thought that Paul Rudd would make a great Ant-Man or that Ant-Man would make a really good movie? But here we are. And then there's two really bad sequels. Quantumania is clearly the worst sequel, but Ant-Man and the Wasp was just boring. So, just a boring villain. And alas, that brings us to Avengers 2012, right? One really cool steelbook. But when this came out, there was nothing like it. I mean, that was like one of the biggest events in like movie history. I mean, seeing all those iconic characters come together for the first time live action was amazing. Holds up to this day. Sure, some of the suits are a bit cheesy, and it's a bit. I think it embraces a little bit more of the comic book side compared to like say like Infinity War or Endgame. But I still love the very first Avengers. Age of Ultron, uh, issues for sure, but Ultron was badass. I mean, he was a great villain, and his the voice work was, I think, perfect casting. Which brings me to Infinity War, my personal favorite of the four. I think yes, I think it's better than Endgame. So I think it's a tighter story. It was the better ending as far as, I mean, I remember when I saw this overseas actually when I was deployed. Um, and I remember heading back to the base kind of pissed off. I was like, you just fucking killed how many Avengers people? Like, are you kidding me? But like logically speaking, like you were like, oh no, no, we're gonna bring them back. Like you can't just kill that many, you know, superheroes. That's just you can't do that. But it didn't change the fact that emotionally throughout the entire movie, when that finally happens, you're like you were I think shocked. So Thanos wins at the end of that movie, and I think that was the perfect ending for that movie. Wouldn't have done it any other way. Works, it pays off, and then Endgame, that whole combination of 11 years of work. Um, like I'm not gonna say it was like a perfect ending or anything like that, but yeah, I don't think you could really change the way they did it. I mean, Iron Man sacrifices himself. Spoilers, if you managed to not see Endgame, I'm not gonna apologize for that one. But that whole final fight sequence for Endgame was so good. There was only one moment in that final fight that took me out of it. But man, Tony Stark going out, Captain America gets his life. There was some like it just left you feeling good for the most part anyway. Well, that's it. That's the last one. That's the last movie. It only took almost 2 hours, not including me pausing to switch out the piles. Um, but thanks for hanging out. So most of the movie room is unpacked. Got some posters up. Posters up. Yeah, it's coming together. I'm gonna start making videos again for all three people that watch them. So if you're one of those three people and you're watching this and you managed to watch 2 hours of me just sitting by myself talking about random ass movies, I appreciate that. But plenty of movies I don't have that I wish I did have. So it would be nice to have more money, but that's not how the world works. So appreciate you stopping by. Until next time, take care. Tell your friends, like, subscribe, all that fun shit. Or just watch the damn video. Any hooser, have a good night.